Hi guys, it's Darren from HotRodPM.com. In this video, I'm going to go over briefly different areas of compiling scopes and quotes, as well as emergency invoices to insurance companies, mainly adjusters, because the adjusters are the ones that are asking for this kind of documentation and what else they're kind of wanting in order to compile everything they need to put the structure back to pre-loss. So what normally when I meet up on a job site with an insurance adjuster, we're qualifying the loss to start off. So we're going through what's affected, what's not affected. Also, you want to explain how you can mitigate the loss. You want to make sure if there's any contents that are affected, how you're going to deal with them, meaning aside from the structure. So two different areas, the building that's affected, as well as their contents, so couches, TVs, anything like that. So they want to know how to separate it, or how you're going to separate it. They'll ask for probably a reserve. What they want is a reserve on how much it's going to cost, what you think. Because if you've been on enough sites, you can generally have an idea how much it's going to cost, with give or take. So the repair, you're going to break it up into a few different sections for repair. The emergency, what it's going to take to mitigate the loss, dry it out. If it's a fire, how much it's going to take to demo the damaged material. Also, they'll want to separate contents, so if you hack out their contents, if there's non-restorable items, that's another phrase that's used, non-restorable, meaning they'll have to replace that item. It's not a cleanable or a restorable item. Now, what I typically try to do is get the emergency scope. So it's scope meaning a detailed breakdown, point by point, room by room, of what needs to be removed, and give that to the insurance adjuster as soon as possible, usually within the first day or two. And then you can, as you're finishing the emergency, you can get a little bit more tighter on your scope, a bit more fine-tuned, break down even more clearer. During your emergency stage, you're removing the affected material. The technicians, you're working in hand with the technicians. They're letting you know, because they're the ones on site throughout the whole process. They're going to let you know a little bit more what needs to be removed, or what can be saved, and what you figured out or what you thought of on the first site visit. You're going to obviously go back to the site and revise your scope accordingly, so that it can be more detailed, so you can get exactly in detail what needs to be done for the insurance adjuster. So by the time you're almost done the emergency stage, you should have compiled a repair scope. Our repair scope it should mirror what your emergency scope is detailed in. So if you removed something, obviously you need to put it back. So if you have on your emergency scope a remove and dispose, or a remove and set aside, on the flip side, your repair scope or your rebuild specs is going to include a supply and install, or a supply reset. And so we want to make sure that there's no confusion when we're talking about both stages. They need to match up. So what also you probably want to make sure is that during the repair stage or the emergency stage, you can either meet up with the sub-trades. They're going to want to give you quotes They're going to supply the quotes to you so you can break it down for each line item of what that cost is going to be. So if you have cabinetry that needs to be either reset or rebuilt, you maybe want to get a cabinet company out there or one of your cabinet guys to come out to and scope it out with you. Drywall, painting, flooring, plumbing, gas fitters, roofers. So all of these different sub-trades, you want to make sure you give them a copy of your scope for one, that they know what they're quoting on. They don't want to just walk on a site blindly, which a lot of times they do because everything is just bang, 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 bang. You want to make sure you get them a proper scope so they know what they're bidding on. So it's nice to give them a timeline as well. So if you provide them a rebuild scope on the Monday, depending on the size of the loss, they're usually, if they're working with you quite a bit, they usually get that quote off to you in the next couple of days. But if it's a larger loss, a complete rebuild, it's good to meet them all on site if you can, and provide them maybe a deadline of a week to get those pricings in, because they're obviously working on other projects, but you want to get that in a timely fashion so you can provide that to the insurance adjuster. There's different tools that I use on the job site that make my job a little bit easier. There's come a long way. When I first started, a lot of it was you go to the job site, you write everything down, and you try to document as best as possible. Now everything's digital. Everything is real time. So you've got digital cameras, you've got applications on tablets, you've got dictation. So it's nice to keep up with the changing times of whatever industry you're in, whether it's construction or IT or anything like that. Everyone wants information, or for the most part, they want information as quick as possible and as thorough as possible in a format that is read very clearly. And I remember that was what it was. You write down your scopes of work that needs to be done, emergency, and then on another page, the repair, and you run back to the office and you get somebody, the clerical in there, your assistant, to type it up, and then you look through it, and if you have 4 or 5 jobs for that day, it's pretty busy. You're going to beat the band. You're all out. So with the newer technology out there, there's ways of being more mobile. You can be on the site. You spend the time initially when you're there, get as much information, and then move on to the next site. But while you're there, you can have everything duplicated. You can have it in a form that it's quick to your project or your PMA, your assistant. So what I use, I'm in the Apple ecosystem, it's a very user-friendly one. I've got iPhones that I take multiple pictures. So I use my digital camera with a memory card, and I go through my site right from the beginning. I take a picture of the house, and then I go from the source of loss out to the rest of the affected areas with my digital camera, as well as I use an iPad and an iPhone. So I also take pictures for later on when I'm tweaking my scopes a bit. I'll pull it up on my iPad and I can zoom in a little bit better, and it's a little bit easier to look at, more detail. And I can do it at different times, not just at the office. I can do it on the road the road, on the side of the road. I also use Dragon Dictation. It's a fantastic product that it gets you that information that you can email out. It's easy to read. I find dictating has been so useful, and so it allows me a lot more time to do other things that are similar or more important. I find that with the Dragon Dictation, if it's on the phone that I use all the time, it can bump me off when I get a call or if I get an email or a text. So I find that I use Dragon Dictation, what's it called? Dragon Dictation on my secondary iPhone or my iPad. So then I'm not having to go over and redo my scope because it kicks you off when you get a phone call. Also, I have implemented wonderful apps for diagrams because I find that it's great to have a schematic for what you're doing. So I'll not only lay out in a diagram the affected areas, but a lot of times the whole floor that you're working on, sometimes in an exterior elevation, you can implement in the diagram as well. I use a couple different floor plan applications. One is floor plans, one is home design. Each one has their pros and cons to each one of them. But if you're wanting to do a more detailed one, you can figure out which application seems to work best for you. So I'm also using a laser measuring tape. You don't always use that, but it's sometimes a quick. If you've got a lot of contents that you're working around, sometimes it's a little bit easier to point that out. Your standard tape measure is great for if you're measuring cabinets, gables, just other things that you're wanting just a quick little measure out of. It's always good to have both on you. So I was a little bit digressing there, but back to scopes. You want to make sure you get that repair scope off to the insurance adjuster or your Strata agent. They like to have it even before the emergency stage is done, because then they can figure out, especially the Strata agents, they want to know if it's going to be below Strata's deductible, whether or not they need to put in an insurance claim to their broker. So the quicker you get your scope, the rebuild specs to them, the better. They also want to know how much it's going to cost to dry out the structure or do the emergency mitigation, because all of that, those two together would be involved with a complete insurance claim if that's what it's going to be. So they're going to want to know the two numbers that are involved. So if they have a $10,000 deductible or $25,000 deductible, so they want to know how much the emergency and the repair is going to be combined, because they're both included in that dollar amount. I think that pretty much sums up what I wanted to get across today. There's some great information on my website, and I'm trying to get a bit more as I go along. I want to just jam-pack it full of information that's hopefully useful. It's you want to get better yourself, and the industry, there's some fantastic project managers in there, some that are just amazing in this industry, that if you can find one and mentor from, it just brings you up to that other level, because it's such an in-depth industry, because it can go at it from different ways. There's the sales part of it, because you want to, the more educated you are, the more assured and you have that capability, and people notice it on the site. If you know what you're doing, you can talk like you do. And that just, you want to be a package deal. And the more education you get, the better you are as a project manager, obviously. So surround yourself with great people, people who are better than you. Surround yourself with them. Whether it's sub-trades who you can talk to, and drywall guys that explain texture, they can explain the different types of texture, the different types of drywall, board, gyprock, what applications are best for what areas. Dent shield, hockey board, talk with your flooring guy, how they order up different types of flooring, square yard for vinyl, square foot for carpet, how even they do their seams, can dictate how they quote, because they want to make sure they have enough material and not have a lot of waste. Different things are ways of getting a bigger repertoire of a catalog of information for yourself, so you can share it to others. You always want to share it with others and build up a real good network of people around you, and share it with other companies, because I figure if you raise the bar in education and doing things better, you don't want to just hoard everything for yourself. You want to give back and teach, because it's so important to give back and learn from other people too, because it's a bounce back thing that you want to have in any industry, in any type of in life in general. So I think that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Go to my website if you have time. It's hotrodpm.com, and let me know what you think. I always want to have good or bad feedback. It's always what I say, because you got to stop. You got to start learning and keep learning. It's when you stop learning that's when you get all dead, grouchy. So comment, subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking. And let's make this a real journey on building up and doing better at what you do as a project manager in the disaster restoration field. Thank you very much.